Apple will unveil the iPhone 17 series later this year. It consists of the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max, two new high-end flagship handsets, to be marketed alongside the standard iPhone 17 and an all-new ultra-thin iPhone 17 Air. Should you have been waiting for the iPhone 17 Pro or its larger sister, here are 5 of the most significant upgrades, based on the most recent leaks and speculations, that are reported to be coming to Apple's premium gadgets. The iPhone 17 series is anticipated to launch in the autumn in mid-September. Check our devoted compilation for all the details. 1. Redesigned camera bump. Expected to have a major back camera bump makeover, the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max will move to a horizontal, rectangular bar spanning the whole width of the smartphone. Visually, it's a clear departure from Apple's long-standing square camera island and is similar to the runway-style camera panel of the Google Pixel. CAD renderings and component leaks indicate this new bump combines the well-known triangular triple-lens array on the left with a more symmetrical structure by moving the LiDAR scanner, microphone, and flash to the right. While Apple's explanation for the decision remains unknown, the broader camera bar might provide numerous practical benefits. It may allow for bigger or more thermally efficient components, increased spatial separation of sensors for more precise depth mapping, or simply more effective internal packaging as Apple continues to downsize the main logic board. The bump's consistent hue, which is apparently matched to the rest of the chassis, shows Apple is striving for a more united and visually understated design language than previously assumed. 2. Upgraded telephoto lens. The iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max will include a new improved telephoto or tetraprism lens with a 48-megapixel sensor, up from the existing 12-megapixel sensor present in the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. This is a long-running rumor that has been substantiated by several sources. The iPhone 17 Pro are believed to be the first iPhone models to contain a back triple camera array, made up completely of 48-megapixel lenses, given that the iPhone 16 Pro models currently have 48-megapixel fusion and ultra-wide cameras. In addition, Apple apparently aims to promote the iPhone 17 Pro's better video capturing capabilities when it launches the gadget later this year. What such capabilities will entail in actual terms is uncertain. However, there have been claims that all 3 cameras might handle 8K video recording for the first time. Shooting 8K would enable videographers to record with the ultra-wide camera and then crop in 50% and still get 4K quality. 3. Upgraded selfie camera. The iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max are expected to have a big increase to the front-facing camera, a 24-megapixel sensor combined with a 6-element polycarbonate lens system. This would be a major jump above the iPhone 16 Pro's 12 megapixels front-facing camera that's been used in iPhones for the previous few years and may reinvent the selfie and video chat experience. A 24 megapixels sensor provides for far more detail recording, which isn't just about pixel count, it gives greater freedom in framing and post-processing. Users will be able to crop, zoom, or recompose their images without affecting quality, making it particularly desirable for artists who depend on front-facing video for content development. 4. Part glass, part aluminum frame. Apple has steadily switched the materials used in its premium iPhones, from aluminum to stainless steel and most lately titanium. But with the next iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max, the firm is anticipated to revert to aluminum for the frame. This change is apparently prompted by environmental aims, since aluminum has a reduced carbon footprint compared to titanium, making it a more sustainable alternative. The design of the back panel is also receiving a big makeover. The rear of the iPhone 17 Pro versions will blend aluminum and glass. The top half will be composed of aluminum and contain a rectangular camera bump, now constructed from metal instead of the traditional 3D glass, while the bottom half will stay glass to retain wireless charging capability. This hybrid approach shows Apple is combining material economy with functional features. 5. New A19 Pro processor. The iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max are likely to debut with Apple's new A19 Pro processor, produced utilizing TSMC's newest third-generation 3-nanometer process, known as N3P. This next-gen node indicates a process shrink, allowing for increased transistor density. In practical terms, it equates to minor increases in both performance and power efficiency over the A18 processor present in the iPhone 16 series. To match the improved silicon, Apple is also said to be incorporating vapor chamber cooling in the iPhone 17 Pro variants. This innovative cooling solution helps dissipate heat more efficiently, letting the A19 Pro to keep peak performance for longer without throttling, especially during intensive applications like gaming or video editing. Next, iOS 18.4 is secretly a huge iPhone update. Here are 5 improvements you may have missed. Apple fans are still finding the new advancements contained in the current iOS 18.4 software update, since it came out last week, and since we've had more time to play with it, we believe it's fair to state that Apple's mid-year update is greater than you would imagine. We've previously attracted your attention to the more visible iOS 18.4 updates like as the new Apple Intelligence Priority Notifications feature and are eagerly waiting for significant enhancements like the delayed next-gen Siri. But iOS 18.4 is still a glimpse of optimism that hints to bigger things to come from Apple Intelligence, and the update offers 5 more nice small additions that'll help tide us over for now. While these new skills haven't gone undetected, they're still modest enough to easily go under the radar. So in case you missed them, here are 5 additional new features in iOS 18.4 that might significantly improve the way you use your iPhone. 1. New shortcuts actions. The latest updates to shortcuts are tiny but effective, pointing to the likelihood that modifications to Siri might be next on Apple's plan, as shortcuts could serve as the foundation for Siri's next upgrades. When you go to the Shortcuts app, there's a new function that enables you to alter settings for a number of different Apple applications, including Safari, Apple Maps, and Apple News, with each one having another layer of activities you may take. 2. Lots of new emojis. Everyone utilizes Apple's wide keyboard of emoticons, and iOS 18.4 brings 8 new emojis to spice up your chats and social media remarks. It's a relatively modest change, but new emojis are always thrilling. Out of all of the newest additions to Apple's emoji gallery, which includes a new fingerprint, harp, and quirky splatter emoji, one has already shown itself to be the next most used emoji, the new smiley with syncing under eye bags. Relatable? I guess so. Everyone utilizes Apple's wide keyboard of emoticons, and iOS 18.4 brings 8 new emojis to spice up your chats and social media remarks. It's a relatively modest change, but new emojis are always thrilling. Out of all of the newest additions to Apple's emoji gallery, which includes a new fingerprint, harp, and quirky splatter emoji, one has already shown itself to be the next most used emoji, the new smiley with syncing under eye bags. Relatable? I believe so. 3. Ambient music. One of the more well-known yet easily ignored enhancements to iOS 18.4 is the extension of Apple's existing background sounds capability. The Ambient Sounds feature contains 4 distinct playlists: chill, sleep, productivity, and well-being. Perfect if you depend on instrumental music for learning, working, or resting. To utilize it, simply add the ambient music icon to your control center during customization, then pick your peaceful playlist. 4. Apple Photos upgrades. iOS 18.4 is doubling down on organizing capabilities, introducing a shed load of new changes to the Photos app. For starters, you'll have the flexibility to activate and disable your recently viewed and recently shared galleries, as well as 2 new filtering options: shared with you and not in an album, saving you having to browse for years trying to locate a certain picture. The new images capabilities also include a new album sorting category, sort by date modified, and the option to remove or restore images all at once. It's a great software enhancement for iPhone photographers worldwide. 5. Visual Intelligence for iPhone 15 Pro. The new Apple Intelligence Priority Notifications are one of iOS 18.4's most helpful new features, but you may have overlooked that Apple has also introduced a new action button that launches visual intelligence. Also, although this function was previously unique to the iPhone 16 series, Apple has now introduced it to the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max model too. In a word, it's an Apple Intelligence tool that's comparable to Google Lens and enables you to snap a picture of anything in front of you before finding out more about it. You may access additional information via ChatGPT, Google Search, or by highlighting any text inside the snap. Although the iPhone 15 Pro doesn't contain the same camera control button as its better iPhone 16, visual intelligence may be accessed via the Control Center or Action button. And lastly, Apple is working on a smart home hub. We're very convinced this is occurring as we speak. Enough speculations and stories concerning the item have transpired that we're convinced it's arriving at some time. However, it looks like the hub is being delayed a bit, as the latest reports from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman indicate the Cupertino company will hold the device back until 2026 when an improved Siri launches. And this is probably the smartest thing Apple could do, as it wouldn't want to launch a new category of devices when it's not ready. Apple postponed its contextual Siri and Apple Intelligence capabilities that depend on app intents until 2026, and early reports indicate they are at the foundation of Apple's reported smart home hub. Unfortunately, we don't have a specific date for the contextual Siri upgrade, so we can't predict exactly when the business will get the new smart home hub into the residences of Apple customers worldwide. However, we're convinced the assistant will have a prominent feature at WWDC 2025 on June 9. While we can only conjecture on what caused Apple push down the rollout of its new Siri assistant, we imagine the odd notification summaries that came with Apple Intelligence didn't help the company's case. If it was a glimpse of where the company's contextual AI is, it's obviously not ready to operate all the gadgets in people's homes. A leaked meeting from Apple revealed that the app intent mechanism operated since iOS 18.2, although it was only accurate 80% of the time. If users are depending on it for critical areas of their life, they need to be able to trust the findings every single time, otherwise the entire system falls apart. Either way, I'm delighted to see Apple slow down and give the AI assistant more time. I'd rather wait for a better Siri experience than have the corporation rush out a half-baked version so that it can get its smart home hub on the market sooner. Siri's reputation is already worse than it used to be, so Apple has to step cautiously. So, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.